April Preyar has been following this case. She was even inside the courthouse throughout much of the trial, and she joins us once again tonight on the conviction. How much will this cost Jussie Smollett in terms of his conviction and possible sentence? What are the possibilities here?
The possibilities range from probation all the way up to 3 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections, prison time, and anywhere along that range in addition to fees and fines.
So you've worked with this judge before. You have some experience. Where do you think that he'll land on the sentencing?
I think the Judge Lynn is very likely to give him probation just because the main thing is Jussie Smollett has no criminal background, and to make it all the way to the age of 39 and pick up your first felony offense is pretty rare, and I don't think the judge will treat him any differently than any other first-time offender who appears in front of him.
We heard from the special prosecutor right after the conviction tonight assigned to this case, took it on pro bono, saying that it was the right thing to do. I want to play part of that for people at home, and then we'll talk about it.
In this city, with this police department, to have reported this crime on January 29th, you saw what this city did. A lot of times people say, well, police officers sweep things under the rug. This police department responded by absolutely testifying in this trial that they took it seriously, they believed it was a victim of a crime, and they worked so hard for the next 3 weeks. You saw 26 Chicago police officers spent 3,000 hours of time costing the city well over $100,000 for a fake crime that never occurred, and by the way, a fake crime that denigrates what a real hate crime is.
So he took a swipe there without directly doing so to the state attorney and the handling of the case early on. Does the verdict today vindicate Chicago police? When you hear what he's had to say there, what's your response?
Absolutely not. I believe the Chicago police clear rate for murders is 17%. Go spend some of these 3,000 hours and 15,000 hours of video footage that they did on Jussie's case and go solve some violent crimes. And there are violent crimes out there where eyewitnesses come forward and the police don't even pursue it. So to have spent this much time, it was solely because Jussie was a public figure. It was solely because he had a degree of celebrity in the city that the police dug in and spent this much time. And then when they decided that it was a fake crime, then they had a bit of a black eye. And I still believe that this is mostly just a political issue really between the now former police chief Eddie Johnson and Kim Foxx. And I really think Jussie just got caught in the crosshairs. Whether he did the crime or he didn't do the crime, this was a political battle that he got caught in the middle of.
So you don't think it should have even gone to trial?
No, I think he should have. Honestly, cases, and I've had similar cases like this where I have a client who says someone of a different race attacked them, and then when you look at all the video surveillance, that's not at all what happened. They are charged with the same thing as Jussie. It normally gets reduced from a felony, if it gets charged as a felony at all, gets reduced to a misdemeanor, and they walk away with community service and misdemeanor probation.
But isn't this bigger because he is a public figure and race has to do with it, and hate crime and saying that a hate crime was committed in our current environment? I mean, isn't that why this was such a big deal?
I think so, but like I said, I've had other cases where there were cross-racial so-called identification of offenders that didn't exist, where it was not treated like this, where it was not considered the biggest crime in the courtroom because the judge actually had murders and attempt murders to address. So I think it all has to do with his degree of celebrity, the fact that he was well known, the fact that Empire was a hit show at the time, and that's why the police force took it this far.
And what impact does it have in the bigger picture on race relations, on future cases, because this was made such a big deal?
None.
None?
I don't think so. I don't think it has any greater impact because this was a supposed fake hate crime. I don't think so.
You don't think we'll see another one like this?
No, absolutely.
Maybe because of this, we don't see another one.
Maybe because of this, we don't see another one.
All right, we shall see. You think this is going to be retried? Why?
Well, like I said, there was this issue the entire week and a couple days of the trial where the general public was barred from the courtroom. So because of COVID restrictions, there were 57 slots, and that included the 12 jurors plus 2 alternates. That included the 7 defense attorneys. That included the prosecution, and then 21 slots for the media, and I believe it left 2 slots for the general public. You can't do that. Jussie Smollett and every other defendant in America has a 6th Amendment right to a public trial. If you bar even one person, that means you have to be given a brand new trial. It's considered reversible error. And there's a case in Illinois, People versus Evans, where that was the case. One person, one family member was barred from voir dire, and that person got a brand new trial on a murder. And so I would suspect, because I was one of those people of the public who were barred and had to go up the chain and talk to the chief judge and say this is ridiculous and finally get an overflow room. But we didn't get the overflow room until Monday.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this. So let's say it goes to a retrial because of the reasons that you're saying. Is the result any different based on the evidence the jury was presented?
I'm not sure that the result would be any different. I don't know. I think the defense did a great job of poking holes in the prosecution's case and really getting down to the fact that there is no smoking gun. There is no communication between the Oshundairo brothers and Mr. Smollett saying, hey, let's plan this, let's do this. These are the times that we're going to meet. This is when I'll be outside and you can come pretend to attack me. I think they did a great job of poking holes in it and giving other possible scenarios for why this happened. So maybe with a different jury, you'll reach a different result, but I'm not so sure.
And real quickly, I know I have to wrap, but could he face any perjury charges for what he said on the stand?
I hadn't thought about that. I don't think so, because perjury usually comes from you being under oath previously and then being under oath again. Normally, that's when you see it. So maybe you testified at the grand jury, you said one thing, you hit the stand in a trial and you say something different. He gave statements to police officers that were not under oath. They were not taken down verbatim. And so it's just a matter of whether the judge believes that he's telling the truth now on the stand or not. The jury seemed to think that he wasn't, but I don't think that's enough for perjury charge.
All right, sentencing in the new year. We'll be watching. April, as always, thank you. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.